The legendary maintenance is striking again. Today we are going to talk about the 10 hours maintenance that is coming and what is coming during it as well, and I would love to hear your opinion about it in the comments section below. Now don't forget to smash that subscribe button to stay notified with everything new about Dragon Ball Legends, and without any further ado, let's just get started. So as you can see, on the 19th of November, we are going to get basically a maintenance, and that maintenance is going to be 10 whole hours, and that is going to be usually what they like to do before every big celebration. They do some changes to the game and they basically do that during the maintenance. And the good thing about this one specifically is that the maintenance and basically the reset are going to start before the characters are added to the game, so we aren't going to have to wait 10 hours in order to be able to summon for the characters. No, we are going to get the maintenance. Everything is going to change. We will have basically our time to also learn about the new stuff, and then we are going to get the characters 2 days later, which is very good in my opinion, because that would open the door for you to be able to first get rid of that maintenance before the characters come, and basically you would be able also to learn about everything without the need and the stress of I want to use these characters right now. So this is, in my opinion, a very good thing from them. Now when it comes to the maintenance itself, there are many massive changes that they are doing to the game. They aren't as massive as the ones that they did basically before the anniversary, but they are still very good changes. So first of all, we have basically a change to the training system. As you know, the training system right now is basically you pick the character, you pick the training item, and then you wait for a certain period of time before you can basically acquire the EXP that the item would give basically to the character. Now what they are going to do is that they are going to change it in a way that it would become similar to other gacha games, where instead of waiting for the timer to end, you are just immediately going to pick the character, pick the training items, and then level up your character immediately. So this is the difference that they are going to do, which is a very good difference in my opinion. This is going to definitely help players basically to level up their characters way easier and way faster than before, and that is a great change in my opinion. So this is the first change that we are going to talk about. The other change that they are going to do is basically for the illustration of characters. As you can see right now, you can see the character, the level, and basically the rarity and the color of the character. Now after the update, you will be able to see even the art of the character if you want. They aren't going to make it so that you have to do it, because man, oh man, if you do it like this, you will scroll until the end of the day before you reach the bottom of this. Like, this is going to take years before you reach the end. So that's why they aren't going to make it that you have to have it like this. No, you can change it to this, and then you can change it back to this if you want to. So this is just purely an illustration, basically satisfaction, nothing else. You can just basically see all of the arts like this and then scroll between them and see them all like this, which is very cool. But the good thing is you don't need to have them like this. You can later on change them basically and have them like this again, because if it is like this, as I said before, you will have to scroll until infinity in order to see all of your characters. That's going to take a lot of time. Either way, the next change that we are going to talk about is upgrading equipments. Is now basically just upgrade everything. You can upgrade both slots at the same time together, which is ridiculous, and it seems like it is a great change. However, there are many things that you will need to pay attention to. Number one, the materials that you are going to use. You will use way more materials than what you usually do, and therefore you will have to prepare for that, and you will have basically to keep an eye on that. Number two is the fact that if one of them reaches basically the point that I wanted for it, does that mean that it will stop at it? And will that mean that the other one will stop at it as well? or does that mean that it will continue until the end and it would ruin that basically point that I wanted? That's basically something that I need to see before we basically can decide whether this is a good change or not. But for now, upgrading both slots does seem pretty cool. If it means that if one of the slots reaches, for example, see basically a red slot, if it does reach that and then it stops, but the other one continues until it reaches it, then yes, that is definitely a great change. However, if it means that both of them are going to run basically 30 re-upgrades regardless of whether they reach it or not, then that is going to be a big problem, because it means that you literally have no value of this change. Literally no value. So hopefully they do it the right way so that it would have value for the players, otherwise it would be a big problem. Now, in my opinion, this is definitely going to save a lot of time, but I think that this is most likely made for basically pay-to-win players rather than free-to-play players, and it is made basically for hardcore players, because usually the casual players aren't going to have enough materials, and by materials I mean basically both Zenny, Souls, and Erasers, and mostly Erasers, because Erasers need you basically to farm a lot in order to be able to get them. And I think that there is right now an event where you can get Erasers real fast, so that is a good thing to do right now to prepare. But I think that usually the casual players aren't going to have enough materials to do basically 2 upgrades at the same time, but we will see. I think that this is definitely looking like a great change, but we will have to see it in the game first before we can judge that. So in my opinion, overall they are doing really great job actually at making the game a little bit easier and more accessible to new players. That is definitely really good. And there is also the possibility that since it is basically a 10 hours maintenance and what we are getting is pretty much nothing that would basically make you wait 10 hours, there is the possibility that we might get that upgrade or basically change to the Tournament of Power that they talked about before, where they are going to lower the amount of basically stages that you have to clear. And they would basically also change the rewards that we are going to get. Obviously, most likely they are going to cut them to half, because that's what they usually do. So we will see what they are going to do with that, but there is the possibility that we could get basically that as well, since it is a 10 hours maintenance here. So we will see. Either way, this is my opinion about it. I would love to hear your opinion about it in the comments section below. Don't forget to smash that subscribe button to stay notified with everything new about Dragon Ball Legends, and until next time, see you as always in the next video.